Welcome to Landria, Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and live an awesome life. Somebody said that they sort of like hearing me slurp my coffee. Well, I don't mean to slurp in your ear, but you and I are friends now. What I'm about to tell you is all good news. Now, you know my channel, even though I do a little butt kicking and I go on rants sometimes because I love you so much, because I just see what you are, I know what you are, and I want you to know what you are because I know it will bring you joy. This world is going through a major transition. It has been. I want to share with you what that is and introduce some things that may be new to you, maybe you know about them. Either way, I would like to open up your mind further and further. This is an advanced video. Why advanced? Because some people will watch this, glaze over, and shut it down thinking it's crazy stuff because they're just not ready for it. And that's okay. We're all at different stages, right? That's what school does. Not everybody's in the same classroom. All right, so I just want you to know that advanced doesn't mean better. Advanced just means that you've made choices to accept or open yourself up to things. I want to start out by saying, first of all, that what we truly are unlimited. The second thing I'm going to share with you that I was told very clearly many years ago in my highest awakened state is everything is one thing. Not separate things within one thing. Everything is one thing. The other thing I was told is there's no such thing as time, meaning that what we think appears in linear fashion doesn't really exist. Now, why do certain things exist for us? Because we chose a reality where those rules apply. Now, because we are one thing where there's no limits, of course, there are no real rules. We can break them at any time. But because we agree to play by certain rules in this scenario, you're in a play, you don't break out and become Superman if you're supposed to be the cowboy, right? We chose to be the cowboys here, even though we are Superman. So if we turned into Superman all of a sudden, we couldn't play out the role in that Western until which time at the end, maybe it's some really awesome Western where everybody turns into Superman and flies off. That's all that's happening right now. It doesn't mean that you have limits just because it appears to be. It means that you chose to come in a seemingly limited environment so that you could learn things in a way that you cannot learn if you are in your other dimensions or in your other, let's say, spiritual vibration frequency. That's all that's happening right now. So let's deal with that because that's where we are. Why are we in this dense, confined space role? Why? Okay, so we have to break through it. You have a major responsibility. You don't have to do it. But if you don't, you're going to remain in some very, unpleasant situations because you're not tapping into the unlimited power of which you are that can change all of this. I'm going to tell you the absolute one key ingredient, which you're going to hear me say over and over again through almost every video, no matter how much I show you how to manifest, because you have that power. You're doing it right now. It's not separate. No matter how much we focus on that, because for me, when I get you to connect to that power and recognize it, you will realize that everything else comes with that. Nothing is separate. We are one thing. So the critical key to everything is oneness. Now, I'm going to do a video on other realms because I'm going to go into spaces that I never usually talk about because I'm not one of those channels that's going to go into that. I'm not here to get into that. But what I'm going to teach you has to do with the quantum field. Now, I truly believe quantum physics is just a minuscule of what really exists. I believe that the truth is there just aren't any limits to anything. And we are just one thing. That's it. It's really that simple. So the one thing that we are is experience itself on different levels. If we do not respect the other, if we criticize, if we judge, if we are angry with the other, if we're complaining, if I get one more complaint about the other, you are not awakened. It's time to awaken. Do you see what we have here? We are amazing. We have an amazing, beautiful, beautiful planet. This is one of the most beautiful planets, by the way. It is one of the most beautiful planets. Look at what it offers. And it is time to stop any actions, any thoughts against anything, any other, and yourself. What are we doing at every moment? We are under a veil and we're breaking through it. But I am counting on you to truly recognize when you are acting within the veil and the matrix. Because so often we are. Some of you will watch this and say, yeah, but Landria. There's no buts anymore. I don't want to see anybody's butt. All right? No buts. Why? Everything just is. Do not battle it. There's nothing to battle. Everything's just an experience. Don't judge it. It's just an experience. It all has a purpose. Don't question it. What am I talking about? Pure faith. I'm not saying it's always going to be pleasant. Why? Because you signed up, you chose to experience these things so that you could contribute your highest frequency within that situation. And you can change anything with a thought. That 3-second manifesting, if you are separating that from anything else, you need to go back and watch it again. Understand there is no separation of anything. Every single thought, your feelings, your beliefs, what you think of the other, that skin color that you don't like, even if it's your own, that wealth or poverty has no true meaning within the one. It's just an experience. And a test for the rest of us to say, are you going to react as the physical, material being, or are you going to switch over into what you are and see it as exactly what it is? A very temporary experience for us to demonstrate our true power, and that is love, acceptance, compassion. If we do not switch into that, the planet will go in a direction that is very unpleasant. But those who switch into that will be on a new earth. I don't want to see anybody stay behind, but if they choose to, that's okay too. Don't let it be you. What are you thinking every moment? Are you criticizing? Do you have to be right? Are you still fighting over political views? There are no enemies. We don't have to fight anything. Just be. Be the light. Be the peace. Be the peace in chaos. Be the person that can forgive. And as somebody said, why do we need to forgive? And I said, ultimately we don't. Forgiveness is a statement that somebody did something wrong. And in my opinion, when you go to an advanced awakened state, you don't even have to forgive yourself or others, because you know that nobody really did anything wrong. They were just in a dense state and experiencing things, or a demonstration for others to experience certain situations so that they could become something greater. This is so much bigger. This is so much bigger than you can possibly wrap your brain around. Don't try to. Everything is one, which means we're affecting the trillions of other worlds out there that are petrified to come here because we're the most violent species. We can't even live with each other. We can't even talk to our neighbor without judging or complaining, or going into work without feeling like we've been attacked or somebody has said something. That's the material ego world taking over and keeping that veil and not allowing you to see all those probabilities, that limitless you that can be used within this dense body in ways that break all the rules. Why? There aren't really any rules. We make them up here. You can heal yourself. You can help heal others, but they still get to choose. You can help others through prayer. You can help others and yourself by not seeing or experiencing blame in the other and seeing them as another dense human trying to break through the veil. That's all they are. That's it. The greatest thing that you can do in this life is to just love and be compassionate no matter what. No matter what. It's been demonstrated by the greatest prophets over and over. And somehow we still separate ourselves from them. We're not getting it. 2019 and beyond, you're going to see some things happening. And if you do not get your act together, you may not have the linear time to make those changes. Everything's possible. Why not do it now and live a life of peace? Why not walk around in sheer bliss? Why not awaken right now and say, what have I been hanging on to? It's not working for me. It's been negative. It's been disruptive for others and myself. It has contributed nothing positive to this planet and beyond. Because this will be reviewed by you. And you're going to have to look at yourself and say, why? Why would I choose a negative thought about anyone over myself? Why do I believe that I am separate? When now you have all those answers on the other side. I'm telling you right now, you have the answers right now. You are not separate from that person. Yes, we still have to deal with the material world. I'm not telling you to go hug somebody who's violent. I'm telling you that there is a pathway for you to take that will create a positive frequency to help raise theirs. We are not here to be the ego, to tell other people what to do or to fix them because we think that they should read a spiritual book or heal themselves. That's still the ego, separation. Respect the other's journey. Respect their choices. That's all we can do. This is what needs to transition into the higher frequency in the body. And that will be the number one quest for every single one of us here. And if you are having one negative thought about yourself or others, then there's work to be done. And ask yourself why. I'll tell you the answer. The ego is still trying to protect itself and thinks of itself as an individual. When you stop thinking of yourself as an individual, it goes away. There's nothing to protect anymore. Because what the other has, you have too. And abundance is not just yours to gain. It's for everyone. We're still going to function as people that go to work and pay our bills and do all that stuff. This planet's future is in your hands. Your future is in your hands. And you don't have to fix the world. You just have to take your frequency as high as you can and then share that peace with others. Not push it or force it. You get to choose. And you get to reconnect with what you are. And not as a concept, as it's going to be tough for some of you who are going to go, okay, I'm limitless. Okay, I got to wrap my head around that. No, you don't wrap your head around anything. Just know it. Know that you purposely were not given that information when you came down here, purposely, or else you'd miss the experience of being a dense human. But know that when you connect to that outer self, and I've experienced it many, many times, you are much bigger than this body. In fact, your energy is so huge, you will actually feel like you fill up the room. And you're aware of everything, not separate, but aware of everything. And then you realize you are not that body that's speaking or walking around. And you're connected to euphoria, not the material world. This is going to be a challenge for many of you. If you desire to go into that space that I'm talking about, it will take constant maintenance, not analysis. That's the thinking brain. Not choices for others, not theories or hooked on whatever somebody else says. That's a creation. Everything's a creation of a reality that you get to choose within your own world. You get to choose your own reality. So when people say, well, what about this and what about that? And I say, it doesn't exist in my world. I'm so focused on the opposite, which is peace and light and love, and catching myself and looking at some of the triggers and the things that the energy that I've picked up, and knowing that I can continually take that to the highest level, the next level, the higher frequency, to be more loving, to be more open. We'll all have human feelings and patterns and thoughts and triggers. It's okay. Catch them and say, that's not true. Because I get to create my reality, and I choose to live in a loving, peaceful world. And all others are just another form. I know it's disturbing. Some of them are very disturbing forms and expressions. But there's no separation. There is no separation. There is no such thing as an individual. Proof. Science will prove it. Science has proven it. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It is one thing transforming into individual expressions, not individuals, and not separate. You affect the universe. Universe is, there's no end to it. We have a moment in linear time here to make a choice that is going to be so impactful on you and the planet that when things start to happen, and they will, they must, when things start to happen, you will look back and know exactly what I'm talking about, and know that you always had a choice. You always have a choice. No matter what your situation, you get to choose your higher reality, or you can stay here in the destructive, individual, separate entities that are stuck in a material world. And all the higher ones, there's no lack. There's total abundance, prosperity, health, compassion, love. We need for nothing in the higher realms. You can experience that here. Will you join me? Because this is a global warning that's being given out by many, many teachers who know this, who know that science, conspiracy theories, the governments, all of it, it's all, they're constructs of separation. The knowing means that you do not have to question anything, and that there is no chaos in the universe, and there's a purpose for everything, and everything's an experience, and you don't have to know why, and be at peace with it, and go along with whatever you need to in the most peaceful way. And that means some people may be exiting this planet. Have you noticed that lately? A lot of that going on. We don't know their individual missions. It's none of our business. Our business is right here. This expression of the one affects everything and everyone. What are you going to choose? Get ready either way. It's going to be an amazing experience. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be mind-blowing. Miracles as a way of life will be happening. That's part of my e-course. We talk about miracles as a way of life. How is that possible? When you tap into your all-powerful being self, even in a physical form with some chosen limitations, all things are possible. And we can tap into that anytime we want. But not if we're coming from fear, separation, blame, judging each other as higher or lower. I'm going to do a video on something that's very different. Get ready. We're going to go into some really deep areas. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings, my friend. Fasten your seatbelt. It's going to be a fun and bumpy ride. Namaste.